What's up, guys? Crypto Mike here. What's the mic check? 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? I'm here with the dog, Newt. Come on, I want you to look over here. There you go, buddy. Hey, you're a good-looking fella. You know that? So, this is gonna be a tough video. This is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna try to get through it without tearing up, but I might do it. I'm expecting to. I'm gonna try not to. It's gonna be a tough one though. This one's gonna be called what is it gonna be called? How to leave a friend with grace. How to let go of a friend with grace. Unfortunately, due to circumstances that are out of my control, I've got to give up the dog. Got to give him up, and he's going to come to the Pasadena Humane Society tomorrow. And so this is possibly my last hike with him, possibly my last day with him. And it's sad because I've really grown to get to know him, care of him a lot for the last, I don't know, like at least year and a half. Taking him on walks, taking him on hikes. He's been sleeping in my room a lot. And I've got to let him go, and it's really sad. It's really sad. Yeah, you know. And how do you let go of a friend? He's a friend of mine. He's a friend. I took over. I took him under my wing when another friend of mine unexpectedly passed away last month, and so ever since he's basically been my dog. And but I don't have control over what happens to him right now. So I'm hoping to adopt him a little later once things kind of get better. I'm not going to really talk about my situation too much at the moment, but I do want to make this video with him. Hopefully I'll be able to get him back in the future. I don't know. Or, you know, hopefully if he gets adopted, I hope someone good takes him. Someone who treats him as well as I do, because I treat him very well. And yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult. So I just found that out. I found out just a few hours ago. I'm going to have to let go of him. He's my little companion. And he's been keeping me a lot of company the last year or two. So I'm trying to get through it gracefully, because it was really difficult losing my friend a month ago. When I found him dead, and that was very difficult. It was a very difficult week, but I had Newt. I had a responsibility. Now I'm gonna lose Newt too. Newt the dog. It took me a little while to get used to him, and you know, I never really liked bulldogs, so when I first saw him I was like, oh, a bulldog. But he's a cute bulldog. He's a cute American bulldog. He's a very handsome dog. And there's another dog. Whose is that? Okay, that's a good dog. He's going back to his owner. He loves playing with I took him to the dog park yesterday. Man, he's always the star of the show. He should be like in movies or something, like the Little Rascals dog. But he almost like looks like a little miniature Beethoven or something. So anyways, is that you? Is that you? I really hope they treat him well. I'm glad I'm not getting emotional. I hope I don't get emotional at all. But I was tearing up a little earlier when I found out I had to leave him. Or he was gonna leave me. Yeah, it sucks, you know, but I'm doing this video to help anyone who's going through anything you know, who's lost a loved one or is about to. Also to help myself get through it by reminding myself that it's going to be all right, you know. I mean, first of all, he's just a dog, so at least he's not a human. But second of all, it's not a no-kill shelter, but they don't really kill dogs very often, unless they're really acting up or something. So he's about 3 years old. If anyone around Pasadena likes him and wants to adopt him and would be a good fit for him, take care of him, then feel free. I mean, he's gonna be there, so I'm gonna try to get him back, but I don't know how long it'll take. So how do you do it gracefully? How do you lose someone you love? And I love this dog, and I loved my friend, you know. He passed away unexpectedly. How do you do it gracefully? And what do I mean by that? I don't even know what I mean by that. How do you lose someone gracefully? Well, I mean, what you can do is, first of all, it really reminds you not to take anyone for granted. Does my face look red or pink? Kind of looks pink. I don't know. Anyways, if you have a loved one that you love and hang out with, and if you've ever lost a loved one that you really loved, you like, all of a sudden you really understand that you can't be taking your loved ones for granted. And whenever you are hanging out together, you really need to appreciate each and every minute, each and every day that you have with your loved one. Like when my grandma passed, that was extremely difficult for me. That was very difficult because I loved her almost more than anyone in the world. Almost. And she was like one of my favorite people in the world ever. She didn't raise me, but she was there all my life, and she took me in. She took me in during hard times. She always loved me so much, gave me the best advice. She was always very cool and collected and compassionate, loving. She didn't have a big ego at all. She was the most loving and caring grandma that anyone could ever have. Just the nicest person ever. I mean, to me at least. And she was nice to everyone too. She loved all her family. But, you know, I kind of took her for granted when I was younger. You know, and when I found out that she had passed away, it really broke my heart, because the number one thing that happens is you start to regret. You start to regret ever getting in arguments, or being a brat, or being rude, or you know, kind of ignoring this person, or kind of just doing your own thing. And you know, my grandma let me live with her for, I don't know, 3 years in my early 20s. And I was just partying, I was drinking a lot, and I was respectful towards her. But there was a few times like I wasn't, and you know, obviously I feel terrible now. The number one thing that happens is you start to regret. I mean, not all the time. If you are there with that person, that loved one, all the time, and you tell them you love them all the time, and you are a good friend or son or daughter, a good dad, whoever, a good pet owner, whatever, you're going to feel a lot better. Try to be the best person. Try to make sacrifices. If you really love someone, they're not always going to be there. You got to really remember that. Every single person, all your pets, all your family members, everyone is going to pass away someday. Everyone. And you never know when it's going to happen. It could just happen out of nowhere. And those are the worst. Because like, if someone's pretty healthy and you don't really expect it, and then just like that, like a light bulb, they're gone. You never see them again. All you get to do is see remnants of their life in photos and videos and the sentimental objects, maybe a gift they gave you one day. You only have reminders. You don't have the actual person themselves anymore. And a lot of times when someone passes, like if you were close to them, you really kind of regret not getting to know them more, or taking them for granted, not asking them about their health much, not caring about them as much as you could have, not showing them the love that you have inside. Maybe because a lot of people are proud, or like they have pride and they have ego and they have to act tough all the time. But there are definitely moments where you're allowed to share your vulnerabilities with your loved ones, and you should. It only makes you closer, and it'll only make that day when you have to leave that loved one, or if they leave you, it'll only make it better. It'll be easier because you knew you had a fulfilling relationship and you did everything you could to make that person feel at home with you. So it's hard to understand until it happens to you. You just don't know. When we're young, we just don't know, you know? A lot of times when we're young, a grandparent or great grandparent passes, and you remember, like, a lot of them, like, you're not really close to them too much, you know, like an uncle or aunt or like a cousin, you know, and so you kind of, like, it's really sad, of course, but if you didn't know them too well, it's definitely not as sad as if you really loved them and knew them during their life. So what can you do? If you really love someone, you need to sacrifice your time, your energy, to really show them that you love them. They need to know, because if they're on their deathbed, I mean, they're going to feel a lot better. They're going to feel a lot better about dying if they have very close friends or relatives there who love them, and they're not dying alone. And if you tell them ahead of time, all the time, tell them you love them. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people don't say, I mean, it's kind of, even for me, it's hard to tell people I love them. Lately, I've been telling people I love them more because, you know, it just shocks you when someone leaves this world out of nowhere. It's shocking. And so that was really tough a month ago. I went through a really tough week, just of shock, and I was just sad that my friend was gone. I was sad that I didn't get to know him more. I could have got to know him more, but we had a respectable distance, even though we were really close, you know. We had each other's backs all the time. I do wish I had, like, I don't know, just tried to help him out a little more. So, I mean, that's the first thing you can do. How to lose someone gracefully. Just tell them you love them all the time. Sacrifice your time, energy for them. If they need a chore done, or, I mean, not a chore, if they need a favor or something, you can skip the video games, or you can skip a hike. You know, it's just one day. You can help them out. And it might be a pain in the ass. It might be a pain in the ass at the time, who knows? But in the end, it's worth it. Because you'll know that you did everything you could to grow the relationship and to foster a healthy relationship with that individual, that loved one. At least for me, for Newt, I know I've been doing, like, everything I can to make this dog feel loved, and he does. And it's sad because I don't think he It was very interesting though. I'd never seen his eyes water or anything. But as soon as I was told that he was going to be taken in tomorrow, he laid down and a tear fell out of his eye. I mean, that's just no coincidence, man. That's either a synchronicity or deep down he knows something's wrong. It's going to be a whole life-changing shift for him. I really hope he acts on his best behavior and doesn't get in trouble. He's only 3 years old, so the younger the dog, it'll be easier for people to want to adopt him. I hope he goes to a good place. I mean, like, I hope I can, like, eventually take him out for hikes again, because he's my companion. He's my hiking companion. We've gotten to know each other a lot. You know, he knows my cues. I give him cues and he understands me. I mean, and we just got used to each other. Now he's just all of a sudden gonna leave. But, you know, that's the thing. To be graceful about life, you know. You can understand, just be optimistic still, be positive. Just know that there's a lot of other dogs out there, that's for sure. It's hard to replace specific friends or loved ones, but just know that that's life, and try to be, like, going forward, try not to take these people for granted, or your pet, you know. And I tend to be a very, like, sentimental person. I have a big heart. I'm very sensitive and emotional, and I'm very compassionate. I've sacrificed a lot of my time for this dog, but he's been teaching me how to live a better life with more compassion and more love. You know, taking care of someone, being accountable and responsible for someone, like either a pet or a child, or even an older person who you love, who you have to kind of take care of. It really kind of puts you in a different place. It really makes you grow up quickly, very quickly. If you love them and you sacrifice for them, it really changes you. And it changes your mind about a lot of things, about maybe being more mature, you know, being more responsible, doing things that are good for yourself, sacrificing your time to make sure this person knows that they're being cared for. I mean, he almost, like, it almost feels like he's like my son or something, my adopted son, you know? And, like, yeah, he acts up sometimes, and it's like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, they kind of like scowl at him for that, but I don't, you know, I understand him, you know, because I was a kid. When I was a kid, I acted up a lot, and a lot of people didn't understand me, and they were like, dang, that kid's crazy. I was crazy. I had ADHD. I mean, in first grade, the teacher had to put my desk in the corner in the back of the room facing the wall so that I wouldn't distract the other kids, because I was a class clown back then. And I would just, like, not pay attention. I was super smart. I mean, I was in GATE. GATE is like a place for smart kids, I guess. So I was in there, but I guess it was just too boring, all that shit. I needed constant stimulation, you know? And then they put me on Ritalin when I was 6. And that kind of changed things. That kind of changed my whole personality. That's when I kind of started getting kind of depressed. I don't know. Just because I wasn't myself. And, like, you know, it helped me, though. It helped me in school. But it didn't feel good. I didn't like it too much. But anyways, it did help. And that was the popular thing to do, you know, for kids back then. And I hope they're not. I know they are. They're still giving Ritalin out to people. But, I mean, it's been a while since they found out that it's not healthy for little kids at all. But now they're prescribing Adderall and Vyvanse and all sorts of stuff. And it can't be healthy for little kids, giving them like basically speed or coke. Like, okay, so I heard Ritalin is like very, very close to cocaine, the molecular structure, and Adderall is very, very close to speed, to methamphetamine, or amphetamine. It is an amphetamine, so it's almost just the same as speed, or meth. And it's like one molecule away from being methamphetamine. And little kids are being given. I mean, that's the shit that Hitler was on. He was on a cocktail, and meth was in it. And that was probably one of the reasons he just went on a complete rampage. So, you know, and all the kamikaze pilots were on it. So if you wonder why people in the US are pretty nuts and crazy, it's because a lot of them are on fucking speed, man. A lot of them are on fucking meth. And the funny thing is, there's like this stigma about methamphetamine. It's not, it's like, it's overall, it looked down upon in society. But the funny thing is, like, a majority of the college students are on amphetamines. And so it's kind of hypocritical. It's kind of like a double standard. And it's kind of like cheating or lying, you know. It's like, oh, I'm going to get down on this meth head, even though I'm a meth head myself, but I'm just doing it in a legal way, you know. But I know pill poppers who are just nuts. And they'll like trash anyone who does drugs, even though they're popping like 10 pills a day, just high off their minds, you know, acting crazy, acting like they can do anything they want. And that's kind of how it is, like, in America right now. People can kind of just do anything they want, you know. It's getting crazier and crazier, except doing good things that are good for America, good for the United States. That's kind of looked down upon. That's, whoops, sweet. Swipe it up with my finger and it flips. Cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy, man. But what you need to do is take your grandma out. Take her out for lunch. Take your mom out for lunch. At least go visit them. That's one of my biggest regrets when my granny passed, is that I hadn't seen her for 2 years. And, you know, I was just being selfish. I was drinking. I was being miserable. But it was all a choice, you know. It was all a choice. When I started drinking, I knew what I was getting myself into, because I've been there before. And, that hurt. Yeah, so take your loved one out. Like, visit them sometime. Like, they will appreciate it. See, one of my problems, though, is like, look, you have to love yourself enough and know that you're worth a lot. And just the simple act of visiting one of your loved ones is enough. I mean, that's enough to make their day. You know, so when I contacted my parents for the first time in years, on Mother's Day, and it happened to be my dad's birthday on the same day, which turned out really great for me. It was amazing. They were so happy to hear from me. And, you know, I did a little YouTube video for each of them and sent that, just a one-on-one, like, talking straight to my mom, talking straight to my dad, telling them how much I love them, how much I'm sorry for ignoring them, and saying mean things to them sometimes, you know, because when I drink, I can be a jerk. And that's why I can't stand myself when I drink. By the way, look at that. Yep, it's still spring. Not for too much longer, though. Look at these beautiful flowers. I think it's almost time to... What's that chair doing there? Does someone live over here? Hello? You know, sometimes you find homeless people living in the hills. But I don't know. I've never seen this chair, so I'm guessing it's new. Anyways, this was all water just like a month ago. This was full of water. I couldn't even get across. Okay, we're gonna go back towards the other way. Newt, let's go. Let's go, Newt the dog. Uh-oh. What'd you do? You're gonna have to backtrack, buddy. He's a smart dog too. Look, he's gonna go around. This way, bud. He's pretty good about finding his way. He's a smart dog too. I really like that about him. He does. He's like, he learns, and he has a really good memory. So, yeah, if any of you guys want to try to adopt him, be my guest. As long as you treat him well, give him attention and stuff. You gotta take him for a walk at least every day. I mean, these kind of dogs, they really kind of require like 30 minutes of exercise every single day, every day, or they go crazy because they're just he's so full of energy. He's so energetic. He loves chasing squirrels. At the dog park yesterday, there's a little dog park for little dogs, and then it's divided by a fence, and then the other side is for big dogs. And he was running. There was like 3 little dogs on the other side, and they were just running back and forth as fast as they could along the fence, barking at each other, just back and forth, and it was so funny. And he was so fast too. But yeah, I mean, seriously, hit me up or hit up the Pasadena Humane Society if you feel like adopting a bulldog. He's very, very loyal. He's loyal. And I might be a little too nice, so sometimes he doesn't listen because I guess I'm not assertive enough. Like, he's pulling me with all his muscles. Come on, bud. Okay, this way. Come on. We're going to go back over to the water, okay? We're going to go to the fun part where I can let you off the leash. He can be let off the leash if there's no one around. If there's no dogs and no people and it's a safe place, he can be let off. But otherwise, he needs to be on a leash if there's people or dogs around, because he'll just run up to them. And he's very super nice. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. But he will, once in a while, he does like just run up to other people or a dog if he's off the leash, and he'll just jump. He'll like try to jump up and lick them and all that. Okay, come on, let's go. All right. So, anyways, I mean, that reminds me. Like, I need to go to lunch with my mom or dad. I need to go to lunch with them. Gotta visit them. Gotta visit family. Family is precious. Come on, buddy. What happened? Sometimes he gets like dust up his nose or something. And then the only way to get it out, he rubs his face in the dirt and sneezes. Come on, let's go. This way, let's go. So, yeah, you bet, like, just don't take your family for granted. Because they love you so much, especially your parents. I mean, I'm assuming your parents love you. You know, if they raised you and you're still alive and you're doing okay, I'm assuming your parents love you. I mean, parents, they don't just like, unless they're like drug addicts or they have a rough life, unless your mom's, God forbid, a prostitute or something, you know, and they're just not there for you. They love you, you know, no matter what. I mean, I've been really mean to my parents when I was drinking. Only when I drink. I'm not mean to them when I'm super nice when I'm not drunk. I'm a different person when I drink. And that's why I hate drinking. The only reason I ever do drink is if I just feel like escaping from a difficult situation or something. But I can't do that anymore. Like, that's you can't do that kind of stuff and expect to live a good life. I mean, I basically lost everything over the last few years. I lost all my money. I lost a lot of my friends. I lost my family because I pushed them away. You know, I lost self-respect for myself. I lost a lot of my self-discipline. I lost a lot of trust in myself. And a lot of people lost trust in me. I pretty much lost my YouTube channel, which I'm so glad I still have. I'm so glad there's still like wonderful, enlightened light workers who are watching my videos. And I'm glad it's not a whole bunch of people, because I kind of want to start fresh. You know, I want to build up the momentum like I did in the first place. And I want loyal subscribers and loyal viewers who feel the good energy and the love I have for them, and pass it on, and just try to be in the same like good vibes, you know. But yeah, you lose a lot when you take a path towards despair and you try to escape it by doing drugs or drinking. You lose. You just lose, you know. It's the opposite of you just win, you know. And if you're just winning, you're doing something right. But if you're losing, you've got to change some stuff around. And that's all you got to do. You got to change. You got to make up your mind to change. That's all you got to do. And sometimes it really does take a catalyst. It takes a catalyst. Something unexpected, something to rock your world, to turn your world upside down and shake you out. That's what you got to do. I mean, that's what has to happen sometimes. Now, you probably shouldn't just wait for some kind of catalyst. You should really just make up your mind and say, I'm freaking miserable. I'm making people around me miserable. And I'm losing all my money. I'm losing all my friends. I'm losing my family. And I'm sick of it. And it's going to take like a good week or so of feeling miserable once you quit your drinking or your drugs. And there's things you can do to help. You know, like I said, I'm taking kratom, and that's helping me a lot with not drinking. It's really helpful. But I'm limiting it. I'm not taking too much, and that's the key when it comes to kratom. You can't up your dose. You can't keep upping your dose. Like, if anything, try to take less and less every day. And over the weeks, just kind of take less and less until you don't really need it anymore. You just develop good habits, good routines, you know, that will distract you and keep you happy and keep you growing. Then you don't need that assistance anymore, that tool. I mean, drugs are tools. You can use them. If you can be responsible, you can use them once in a while to go get through a situation that's difficult, but you have to trust yourself and you have to make a plan not to get addicted or not to use them too much. And you have to follow through with the plan. You have to do it. And trust me, if your loved ones are worried about you or sad that you're going down the wrong path, they're really worried about you. They love you, and it's probably breaking their hearts. You know, and I'm sure there's a lot of negative things you can think of that help you justify your behavior. And like, oh, well, you know, like, screw them, I don't need them. Like, they didn't take care of me this time, and, you know, the time we got in that stupid argument, like, fuck them. But then there's always, like, the better times, the good times that are just way better, you know? Those are the ones we kind of take for granted. And then a lot of times we latch on to the bad times, or the big arguments, or maybe your girl cheated on you one time. I mean, that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, because like no one wants to be cheated on. But yeah, I'm like, do you get back together? Do you weigh out the pros and cons, like in that episode of Friends with Ross and Rachel? You know, or do you just leave? Well, you know, it depends on the relationship. If you really love someone, maybe they made a mistake and cheated. I don't know. You know, it's very situational. It's very specific to that relationship. So anyways, but yeah, you'll really latch on to that. Some people will start drinking, doing drugs. They'll dump their girl, and then they'll be miserable. You know, and I get that, dude. Like, I've been cheated on before, and it was difficult. Very, like, one time I got cheated on, and I stayed with her because I really loved her, and we were in a long distance relationship. So under the circumstances, I forgave her, you know. But another one cheated on me, and it was despicable the way she did it. And I'm not even going to talk about it. It was really messed up. and I had to get rid of her because it hurt too much. It was so disrespectful towards me. I had to get rid of her, and I was justified in doing so. So anyways, come on, buddy, let's go. It's difficult. Try to cherish your close loved ones. Like, cherish the time you spend together. Don't be on your phone the whole time. All you're doing, like, you can spend all day on your phone when you're not busy, when you're not with anyone, like, and that's what a lot of us do, you know. But cherish the time you're with your loved one, your mom or dad. I mean, that's a big deal. A lot of us don't talk to our parents, and both parties, you know, your parents and you're both hurting. You both really wish it could work out and you could get along and talk to each other, but a lot of times it's just due to stubbornness. You don't connect again. You don't get together because of pride. A lot of it has to do with pride. You know, maybe you're too proud to, like, say sorry, you know. And I mean, saying sorry is difficult. And people who don't want to say sorry, it's because they're scared to. They don't know. It's like they have this thing, they have this wall they build up around them, and they feel like they can't show their vulnerability, you know. And it's like, dude, you're missing out on a whole part of life that you should be having fun with, like having a great relationship with someone that you should love and you should get along. But it's just that one thing that one argument that you're holding on to, that you have this resentful heart, you're dwelling in resent, and it could all be solved and simplified and fixed with one phone call. Just one phone call, you know. And so sometimes people have to have an epiphany. Sometimes they have to have a catalyst, like rock their world, and then they wake up and they're like, okay, well, there's more to life than what I'm doing. There's a lot of love out there, and I want to be in it. I want to be in love with life, and part of that is having good human social actions, like just being social and having fun with people, trusting them. That's one problem I have. I have a problem with trusting people, because I've unfortunately gotten to befriend certain people in the past who I thought they were my friends, but they were really kind of like betraying me, you know. I've had friends who have stolen from me, stolen my car, stolen my laptop, my phone, and the only reason I was hanging out with them was because I was on drugs and they were providing them to me. And so I was hooked, and it was a really bad time for me, really bad time in my life. And that was when I was homeless, living in my car, and it was all my choice because I wanted to keep doing drugs. Come on, buddy, this way. So the older you get, the more it's funny. Life is funny because you want to grow up when you're young. The younger you are, the faster you want to grow up. But the older you are, the slower you want to age. Like, you really wish you had your youth back, because if you had known how difficult it is to be older, because trust me, it doesn't get easier. And I've heard that plenty of times, but now I know, I'm starting to know, and I'm only halfway through life so far. So, and I stand by that, you know. I ain't dying until I'm 72 at least. 72. The older you get, it gets harder and harder to be like, you have all these like problems. You start to get problems with your body, even your mind. Like, you lose your memory a little. Some people lose their sight. I mean, almost everyone ends up losing their sight a little bit. Maybe, yeah, your cognitive abilities kind of deteriorate. Some people get Alzheimer's, you know, all sorts of stuff. Some people have neuropathy, like some people Some people lose limbs, you know. Just people go through hard times during their lives. And it's funny though, because the more you lose, the more you gain as far as knowledge and appreciation. Like the older you get, the more you appreciate life. Unless there are those few like miserable people who are just so far gone. They don't have any friends. They don't have family. A lot of the homeless people out there in Los Angeles that I see all the time, they're just so far gone, and the only thing that makes them happy is doing drugs. You know, a lot of people dancing around in the middle of the street in traffic with their pants down around their ankles, and they're not here. They're like dancing and they're doing weird shit, and they don't even know that they're in the middle of the street. I don't know what they're on. Dang, who knows, man? I don't know. Maybe they're on, I don't know. I know a lot of them are on fentanyl. Fentanyl's a big deal. What is that? Is that a woodpecker? What is that, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, so this is sad, man. Oh, hey. Yeah, it was funny. He's hilarious. One time I had a 12-pack of beer, like just the box. And I throw them to him, and he shreds them to pieces. He loves it, just ripping it apart with his teeth. But one time he stuck his head in the case of Budweiser, just the box, and he had that box on his head for like 10 minutes. He couldn't get it off. It was hilarious. I took a video of it, so I'll show it to you guys sometime. He's hilarious. This way, buddy. Come on. We're gonna go towards the water. Okay? What are you sneezing for, man? What happened? All right. So yeah, it's like this is possibly the last it's probably the last walk I'll ever take him on. Well, I'll take him on a walk tonight and then tomorrow morning, but this is probably the last hike I'll go on him with. It's just sad. I mean, I know it's not too bad. I'll be distracted. I'm very busy right now with work and stuff and other stuff. So I'll be okay, but it's just gonna be sad not having him there, because I've really gotten to love him. He's my little buddy, you know. Like I said, it's almost like he's like my little boy, like a little son or something. Even though he's not, he's probably the closest thing to a son I'll ever have. I don't think I'm gonna have kids. So if I have to though, or you know, I probably will want to eventually. If I go to like, I don't know, figure out, I might adopt another dog or something, because like almost every dog I ever own or ever am acquainted with, like for a long time, I always fall in love with them. Like, I just love dogs. They're so awesome, and they're so compatible with humans. They really, really are man's best friend. They really are. See, I think the big problem right now is for me is I'm just gonna feel so damn lonely without him, because I take him out all the time. He's just with me like 24/7, except for when I'm at work. So that's going to be difficult. Look at all that cacti. Isn't this phone awesome? Aren't the colors are so vivid? This is the new Samsung S23 Plus. It's like the flagship phone for Samsung right now. It's really nice. Sheesh. So anyways, yeah, had my eggs with I had my tri-tip, made a tri-tip this morning. Had steak and eggs, sunny side up eggs with some sauteed broccoli and tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. Dude, where are we? Oh, we gotta go this way. It's a beautiful day. Oh, beautiful day today. Damn, look at that lemon yellow sun. Oh, look at your face. He's so cute. He really is. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss his face. He makes the funniest facial expressions. Okay, nope. This way. Come on. So anyways, yeah. You just wanna cherish every moment. Come on. And like I said before, I've said it a few times. If you don't have a dog and you can have a dog, and if you're a lonely person, if you're kind of lonely, maybe if you're a little older, you know, maybe if you lost your wife or husband, or, you know, or even if you're younger, and you like live alone, and you're like a 20-something-year-old and you live by yourself, or even if you have a girl that
I know, I forgot.
Then, you know, and they're maybe at work all the time or whatever. It just doesn't matter. Consider adopting a dog, or, you know, raising a dog. I'm telling you, it enhances your life. And they say that it adds like 5 years to your, or maybe 7, so like 5 or 7 years to your lifespan. And it's just because of the love and compassion, the sense of meaning, the sense of responsibility. And just dogs, like they will sit there and, like, if you're in a bad mood, like sometimes they'll just come up and cuddle with you. They'll lick your neck or something. They'll lick your face, and they'll make you laugh. You know, it's just like they make you happy. That's what they do. Dogs are just wonderful creatures. They're just amazing pets. Best pet you could ever have is a dog. If you want less maintenance, you don't have to pay attention to them as much. A cat works too, although they have very different personalities. Cats, they seem a little more selfish, like maybe not selfish, but less wanting to like cuddle, less wanting to be lovey. Like dogs, they are so happy to see you. Whenever they see you, you come home from work, oh, the tail's wagging like crazy. I mean, there's been a few times his tail was wagging so much, he almost broke the sliding glass mirror. He almost broke the glass mirror in my room. But isn't he a beautiful dog? Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful dog. Yeah, these American Bulldogs are so loyal to their owners. They'll just hang out with you. He just like sits around. He'll just lay there all day while I'm working and doing stuff, or like on the computer. Yeah, you know, he'll just like lay there and just wait. He never complains or anything. You know, he can't talk, he can't say anything, but he just waits and waits and waits, and then whenever I feed him, or, you know, he gets so happy. He's so happy. That's why dogs are just so, if they're docile, I mean, they're just super pets, you know? I mean, you could have like a snake or an iguana, or you can have a parakeet. You could have parrots. You can have a gerbil. You know, you can have a bunny rabbit. But they're not the same as a dog. You know what? One thing I've been wanting is a pet monkey. That would be so fun. That's the only thing that could possibly rival a dog. But not really. They can't. No, nothing. No pet rivals a dog. Let me know. Tell me if you have a pet, or ever had a pet that was actually a better pet than a dog. Because I bet I won't hear about. I bet no one has. That said, it would be really cool to have a little like chimp, or like a little monkey, you know, that's house trained, or, you know, they wear a little diaper, and they just, because they're so human like, it's hilarious. I mean, I almost feel like animals are getting smarter and smarter, and I think it's because of this DNA upgrade. This DNA, we're all kind of growing up in ways, but I think animals are kind of getting smarter, and we're starting to see it. I don't know, I have a feeling, I haven't really thought about it too much, but just recently I'm like, seems like animals are getting smarter than they were. Like, they're upgrading too, and they're showing their intuition, and it's impressive. I don't know. I'll expand on that more some other time. Hey, let's go. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Let's go, bud. This way. Come on. See, he smells. With dogs, they love to sniff. That's like one of their favorite things to do, because they can smell like 1,000 more smells than we can. And it's intense. Like, everything they can smell, it's like how we can see all these colors and all that. You know, we can hear, well, they can hear better than us, but yeah. And when they sniff a lot, it wears them out. And it's like healthy. Sniffing for stuff. Like, that's why when you take a dog on a walk, they're sniffing everything. It's because they're getting all this information about the area, like other dogs, you know, and then they pee all over the place to tag their territory. Like, if he ever sees a dead animal, like a squirrel or something, on a hike, like, or a carcass or something, it's kind of gross. But it's natural for dogs to want to roll around in it. Like, they'll turn on their back and just roll around in that dead animal. And it's like, I guess that's a natural thing for dogs to do, because they, it's like marking, their ancestors would mark their territory. Like, their scent would be on the animal, so it would like tell other dogs that it's already taken, something like that. So, dude, where are we? Okay. I got 10 minutes left. This one might have been kind of boring, I don't know. But if it wasn't, if you liked it, hit the thumbs if you can. I would appreciate it. I'll do another crypto video pretty soon. Like I said, I'm busy. I'm really busy the next few weeks at least. Got some personal stuff going on. Come on, bud, this way. No, stop. Let's go. So, I haven't really been able to wrap my head around the crypto market for the time being lately. But I will. Eventually, things will get more stable for me, and I'll be sniffing out those gems again, baby. Yeah, I'll sniff those gems out, and I'll tell you all about them, and then we'll all make money together again. Oh, I can't wait for that. I think we still have about a year. Well, I think the next halving is in like a year. And so I think maybe the few months leading up to the halving, like usual, it'll start running. Like, the bottom will be in probably like 4 to 6 months before the halving, I'm guessing. If the bottom's not already in already, it might already be in. I think, what is his name? Chico Crypto, he put out a video yesterday saying that we're coming down to 20,000 and then we're going to take off from there. So we'll see. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't think we're going to go below 20,000 too much. Maybe like 17. It's hard to say. I don't think anyone really knows. So, but yeah, those will come. More crypto videos. These walk and talks, hopefully, I'm sure I'll still be motivated to do them. I love going on hikes with Newt as a companion, but I'm sure I'll still be wanting to do the YouTube videos. So I'll still be doing these videos regularly. So that'll be good. This is one of the things I'm doing to help myself get better, to grow again, you know, to grow into the person that I really am, grow back into that person. After years of neglecting my health and stuff. So I'm going to eventually start going to the gym, which is extremely healthy. I'm eating healthier nowadays, which is great. Once in a while I do have like an Oreo McFlurry or something at night, because I crave sugar, because of when you drink beer and wine and stuff, like, it turns into sugar. And so your body's really kind of, it's used to that sugar. And so when a lot of people who quit drinking all of a sudden, they get those cravings, man. I tend to like the sour belts or the sour punch straws. I like those. I like gummy bears. And I like Oreo shakes and stuff like that. Not the one from Jack in the Box, though. That one's gross. There's something weird about that one. I don't know what it is. It's gross. Like, go to Shake Shack. Ooh. Now, I tried it the other day, Shake Shack. I didn't like their burger too much. It just really wasn't as like what it was hyped up to be. Like, it's supposed to be one of the best burgers out there. Nah, no way. You know, I'll tell you what is a really good burger. Fat burger. Underrated. If you have a fat burger, try it out. You know what? You can do it. You can get it. You can get your burger on a bed of lettuce without the bun. All the ingredients are still there, but it's kind of like a burger salad. A lot healthier than having the bun. But I tried it the other day for the first time, just because I've been I've been kind of like in the mood to have a cheeseburger and fries every once in a while lately. And I tried it and it just wasn't satisfying. However, I did get the Oreo shake, and damn, that was good. Really good. So if you ever go to Shake Shack, get the shake, get the Oreo shake. Try it out and tell me how you like it, because it was boom. Woo! Damn. You know, McFlurries are pretty good too. The Oreo McFlurries. Damn good. So anyways, yeah, so I mean, if you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like. If you want to support me, to be honest, like I don't really care how many likes I get on videos. It doesn't really matter to me too much, but I do know that if you hit the thumbs up, it'll push my video out even more. And I do want my video to reach more people, because why wouldn't I? Like, that's obviously the point of having a YouTube channel. Like, you don't want no one watching. You want more people watching because you feel like you have something to offer this world, and it's a great venue. It's a great way to get your words out and your content, anything you want, you know. And that's why I do suggest trying to like just start a YouTube channel. Who knows? Maybe it'll be dormant for a few years. Some people don't really do much on their channel, and then they'll post a video like after 2 years or something, and it goes viral, and then it just totally turns into some kind of like career, you know, out of nowhere. That happens a lot. I was doing videos and I barely had any viewers, and then I was like, you know what, like barely anyone's watching anyways. I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna do like a weird conspiracy video that, you know, it was like I was totally into it, and I didn't think anyone would care. And my first, it wasn't viral, but it was a big video. My first, like, I only had like, I don't know, at most like 50 views on my videos, maybe 100, and they were about crypto. And then I did the I did my video where I deep dived into the concept that David Schwartz might be Satoshi. You know, and I did a funny thumbnail, and I didn't expect anything. But that one got like 1.5 thousand views in the first like day or two. And I was like, whoa. And it quite literally kind of changed my life. It really did. I mean, a whole new stream of I don't know, busyness came into my life. Like, I got into the XRP community even more. I was always already into the community. That's why, I mean, I think XRP is really kind of like what really got me super stoked about crypto in the first place. Because I was happy about it. I was like stoked about it. But then the whole XRP thing and all the hype, all the crazy energy in the XRP community, all the crazy videos, all the conspiracy, all the deep dives, and just getting, it kind of woke me up. And that's why I do believe that a lot of the XRP community, most of them are more woke than the average person, or even just the average crypto investor. Like, more woke, totally. Now, of course, it goes a little extremes. There's a lot of people in the XRP community who are very intense and very extreme with their views. And so maybe they need to like kind of take a step back and breathe and be like, okay, am I like just turning everyone off? And you know, sometimes you don't care. Like, I don't care sometimes, but after a while, you kind of like, if you really want to get your message out, you got to deliver it in a way that just, you know, kind of caters to everyone, not just a little group of people. Like, you want to get your message out to people, try to explain it in a way that like everyone can understand, and you're not being too like angry about it or intense or like crazy sounding. You know, there's a lot of crazy sounding people out there. That's all I gotta say. And even I was a lot crazier back in the day. But hey, I mean, if you're compassionate about something, you're compassionate. So with that said, guys, it's been an hour. Cherish the ones you love, okay, before it's too late. Don't take them for granted, okay? I love you guys. I don't take you guys for granted. I love you. And I'll see you later. Crypto Mike out. Peace.